Hey friends, and welcome to the Paparazzi Stars podcast. Here we chat about all things paparazzi. Tips, tricks, suggestions, and weekly challenges. All to help you grow and explode your paparazzi accessories business to rockstar success.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Paparazzi Stars podcast. My name is Anya Bohm and I am your show host today. Today I am super excited to welcome a different co-host. You guys have heard Daphne, the little baby, here with me before. She's also here today. But today I'm also joined by one of the paparazzi elite leaders and one of my all-time favorite people, Robin Frank.
Before I forget, to access all of today's show notes, the recording, or to share it with your team, visit paparockstars.com/Robin. Again, that's paparockstars with an S.com/Robin.
Thank you. You're welcome. Let me tell you a little bit about Robin. Now, Robin, she is married to Tom, and they work their paparazzi business together. They are the parents of 4 boys and 1 daughter. Now, this daughter, her name is Brittany, and you'll probably see her around paparazzi as well because she is Robin's business partner and best friend. They do a lot of pretty much everything together, right, Robin?
Right. We do everything paparazzi. She's my business partner, and she's right there. We split everything and do everything. So, yeah, good.
Awesome. Okay, so now Robin also has 12 and a half grandkids. 1 is coming soon. 2 of those are 2 sets of twins. So I guess that would be 4 of them, right?
Correct.
And the oldest is only 7. So all of those cute little grandkids, just little still. Robin is the rank of Maven A-lister with paparazzi, which is just amazing. If you look at the requirements to be Maven A-lister, you'll know how amazing Robin is to manage all those people underneath her and get them just motivated and rock stars, right, Robin?
That's right.
Now, with that, Robin got a Chanel purse. Can you believe it? A Chanel purse. And she rocks that purse. You'll see her carrying it around at convention when we come to convention because it's a beautiful purse. Robin started with paparazzi September 26, 2010, and get this, her consultant number is 1028. Now, paparazzi started at number 1,000, so the first 28 people to join paparazzi. Robin is in Draper, Utah, which is right by Salt Lake City. It's kind of in the same city. You just keep driving, and it's one of those things where if you didn't know where you were, then you'd still think you were in Salt Lake. But it's
just a suburb area. Right there. We're really close. So.
That's great. Now, Robin, did I leave anything out of that intro? Anything you want to add?
No, we're good. That's kind of me.
I love it. So, Robin, to kick things off, we wanted to talk about your paparazzi why. Why do you do paparazzi?
Well, if I could, I would just like to kind of tell my story. My husband's a realtor, Tom's a realtor, and he and I we're flipping homes, and Brittany was, our sweet daughter then, was not married and was helping us as kind of a secretary. So we've all kind of worked together pretty much our long lives. And we were doing very well. We had a great business going, and then life changed for us. I've told this so many times, you'd think I'd be good at this. And in 2008, 2009, the real estate market crashed, and we actually lost 7 properties to foreclosure and short sale. And life changed for us. And as many of you know, when finances come up, when you don't have enough money to pay your bills, it weighs on your self-esteem. And I felt like I was a loser, and I gained weight and didn't want to be around anybody, and I just felt horrible. So one day, Brittany hauled me, my sweet little daughter hauled me to a show at a convention center. It's called What a Woman Wants. And we went in there and just walked around, and we found this booth that was a $5 jewelry booth. And we went in there, and we thought, oh, yeah, this is cool. And I figured I could buy a necklace for $5. That was about all I could really afford because we really had no income. And Brittany and Misty and Rachel Kirby were there, and they talked me into buying a headband. And now, at this time, I'm like 55 years old, and I wore a headband when I was 12.
Right.
So that was the beginning, and they told me, you buy a headband and walk around the show, and if you don't like it, you bring it back. And I do that all the time now to people. I tell them, you take this and you walk around the show, and if you don't like it, you bring it back. You don't have to pay for it. And I did, and it was okay, and I thought, oh, nothing wonderful happened to me then. However, I wore it to church. It was Saturday. I wore it to church the next day. And for several months, I had felt like this big fat loser, and when I went to church, 3 or 4 people stopped me and said, wow, you look really nice today. And they didn't say to me, oh, you have a cool headband. They just noticed that you look really nice today. They didn't know what it was. It was just different. Mm-hmm. And that changed my life. So Brittany and I had Misty's card, so we called them on Monday. And, and on Saturday when we were there, we stood back and we watched all these people coming out with these little pink bags from this booth. Lots and lots of people were in that booth, and we needed a job. So we called down to Hurricane, Utah, which is 4 hours away, and we went down there and purchased jewelry, of which I had no money to buy, and came home. And I don't know about any of you that have ever started, but when you get your first kid, or you get so excited and jump into it, and then on the way home I just had this remorse that I thought, what have I done? I'm a loser. I have no money. But we came home and we jumped in and we went 90 miles an hour, and we put every penny right back into that business. We bought 1,000 pieces to start with at $3,000, and we did shows, and we did 2 and 3 home parties a day, or Brittany would do one and I would do one the same night. And this was September, and we didn't pull 1 penny of our business until December. And all we did was buy more jewelry and pay our credit card minimum payment of the $25, I think, a month. And we just went to town, and we loved selling jewelry. And that is my biggest why, is because I know I can change a woman's life by putting a $5 item on her, and I'm not asking her to break the bank. I don't know what her financial situation is. I don't know what she has at home, but I know that I can put a piece of jewelry on someone, and they stand a little taller, and they'll smile. And someone will tell them they look beautiful. And that's why I do paparazzi. That was the beginning. Then we just got going and just were wonderful. I'd never been in direct sales before, and Brittany and I are business partners. We do everything together. And we were just going crazy, and she got pregnant and was going to have twins, and then she had her 2 babies at 0.5 weeks. She had boys, little 2-pound in the hospital babies. And they were there for 3.5 months. And as Grandma and Mom, we kind of checked out for a little while. You never know what happens in life, but we went through the financial thing, and paparazzi pulled us through. Mm-hmm. And then we went through the medical situation, and paparazzi sisters were there for us and pulled us through. And if we needed some extra money, we could go out and sell it on the weekend or do whatever. And then I ended up with cancer, and almost died. And so the last why of my life is all these sweet paparazzi sisters that have become my sisters and have prayed me and loved me better when I didn't want to live anymore. And so I love selling jewelry, and I love the relationships that I have, and that's my why.
That's beautiful.
So,
thank you for sharing that. I know some of those things aren't exactly your favorite things to talk about because those are hard times. But look at what amazing has come out of it.
Thank you. It was a great experience. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I'm grateful that we went through that time in our lives. So,
absolutely. Well, let's keep moving right along here with this. Now, this question, everybody, even Robin was like, I don't really want to talk about this, but now there's a purpose behind this next question. I'll tell you the question, and then I'll tell you the reason behind it. So we're going to talk about next the story of Robin's worst paparazzi moment. And now I know you guys, we want to be positive because people are drawn to you when you're positive. If you're a Debbie Downer, then people don't want to be coming around and hanging around that with your gloom cloud over you. But the reason we're going to talk about this is we're also going to talk about what Robin learned from her worst paparazzi moment. And we also want you to realize that these elite leaders and these wonderful people with paparazzi, they are doing amazing things in their business, but they also struggle, and they have those hard times just like every other consultant. And what makes the difference is that they push through those hard times and that they learn lessons. So, Robin, please take us to the story of your worst paparazzi moment. Draw us a picture. Take us to that moment with you.
Well, when I love doing large events. I do everything that I can find. We do races. We have done fights. We do gun shows. We have done dance competitions, anything that we can think of where there will be a woman or some women. So we found this fight. It was a boxing match, kick, I don't know, ultimate fighting is what I think is what it's called. And it was a $50 booth fee, so I figured, hey, what's the deal? And it was from 6 p.m. to midnight. So I went and set up, and it was kind of a last-minute thing that I threw in there because I kind of found it. And when I got there, I didn't have any bags, was number one. I wasn't prepared. And, when you're really not prepared, how do you go to a show and don't have bags to put your jewelry in? And so my niece is with me, helping me there, and she ran off somewhere to some craft place and found some clear plastic bags for us. And so we were all set up, ready to go, and they were starting to come in for the fight. And it was in October, and at this fight, a lot of people came dressed up. It was near Halloween. And again, I've been only doing paparazzi for maybe a month, kind of. I really wasn't sure I knew what I was doing. But they came in, hundreds and hundreds of women. And where they put us up in the foyer where they bought tickets, and then everybody went in to get their seat in the fight in the arena. Mm-hmm. And we're out there with some T-shirt people and some food people, and people came along and looked at the jewelry, and I talked to them, and, yeah, that's great. I'll come back later. Well, as the night progressed, everyone got drunk.
Oh,
well,
no.
you think that's going to be a good night because they're drinking and they'll come and spend more money. Well, very few people even came to my booth. I did sell one bracelet in 6 hours, and the booth fee was $50. I sold one bracelet. Girls came over, and right near my booth, like, she threw up all over the floor.
Oh, no.
And it was awful. I'm telling you, I kept thinking, oh, why did I do this? Why? And we do that. We get into, there's many boutiques or events that we do, and we don't make money. We go in the hole. We're thrown up upon, and I thought, I will never do a fight again. But I learned. And the one thing I did learn was I met a photographer there that really helped us and trained us in taking pictures. At that time, we didn't have stock photos that we could use from Paparazzi. And 3 people picked up my card, of which several did, but 3 people called me back. And I got 3 parties off from that. And I learned a lot about fighting that night. And then when it was over, because so many people had been drinking a lot, the underdog won, or it looked like he was going to win. And so the gentleman next to me that was selling T-shirts, he said, "You girls need to get out of here." And so it was kind of an interesting night. So do every event, everything you can, and learn from it and go forward. And it doesn't matter what. You never go in the hole. I truly believe that God puts us in places as stepping stones to learn for the next thing. He taught me a lot of lessons there that I will never forget that, and I know that it doesn't matter what I do, I will always learn something from that event or that place that I'm in. So look for the things that you're learning. Look for the little gifts that God is giving you to learn from in every instance you're at. It's not always about making the money. It's the relationships and the next thing that he's leading you to. So.
Oh, I love that. Another thing that I wanted to just bring out just a little bit more in what you said there was that afterwards, you only sold 1 bracelet, but afterwards people called you. Like, you thought it was a horrible event, and it's still, you still got things afterwards. So, ladies, even if you're doing an event and you're totally bombing, hand out those cards. Talk to people. Talk to the other vendors there. See what like Robin was just saying, see what other relationships you can build, because you never know. You might have somebody call you in a week, say, hey, I want to join your business, or let me do a party for you. So.
The photographer did join, as a matter of fact. She really did. And one of the people called me, it was about 6 or 8 months later, and she said, I had your card and I saw you at a fight. And I'm like, where did you see me? And I had totally, I really kind of tried to put that on my head. But, yeah, it was good.
I love it. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, now what habit do you have that contributes to your success, Robin?
If the one thing that I feel like I would love to suggest to everyone, or what I love to do, is I love to smile and I love people. My life has been so touched by people that love me that I feel like if I can just reach into anybody's little heart, because there's a lot of people out there that are having sad days, and if you can send them just a little bit of love. And I always talk about paparazzi wherever I go. I always wear a headband. I always wear bracelets and a necklace because it's a conversation starter. And I'm paparazzi's advertisement. I'm the billboard. And so I feel like people look at me and see that my jewelry makes me happy. It does. It makes everyone happy. So always smile and love the people around you. I think that's been my best successes.
I love it. Okay, so this one's maybe a little bit tricky because when consultants start out, there's a lot of information that they don't know and that they could know. So what advice would you give to a brand new consultant just starting out?
Just exactly what we just talked about. Number one, have information. Have a business card. Make a flyer. Do whatever it is, but carry it with you everywhere. But be the advertisement. Live paparazzi and smile and love the people around you. If you go out and open your mouth, I'm telling you, there are some consultants out there that have grown so quickly just because they love the product and they talk about it. When I first started my first party, I stood in the back corner and somebody said, well, who do I pay? And I raised my hand, over here. And now I know that I just have to, and I was you would never know, but I was kind of a shy person. And I was, remember, the loser and had lost weight. And so I don't care what your personality is. If you always smile and just share with people why you started, it will change your business. It will. And make sure you give them your information. You know, the jewelry sells itself. So just share it with people and share. Just open your mouth and talk about it everywhere you go.
I love that. I love how simple it is. Anybody can do that. You don't need $400 to go get the best business cards or to advertise on a billboard. You know, you have your smile all the time if you just wear it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so if you will smile when you're on the phone, I promise you, people feel that. I mean, I can feel your smile, Anya. You're always smiling. You're so sweet. Anya's always happy, bless her heart. And you feel that. You feel their smile even on the phone or whenever you talk to anyone. So, sorry, go on.
No, you are just fine. I love it. It's so true. It's so true. You can tell the people when you call somewhere and they just have that grumpy, you're like, oh, please, just smile. Okay, the next question. If you could give one thing or one piece of advice to a consultant who's feeling stuck in their business, what would that be?
I would tell them to call their downline, call their team, call their friends. If they're just starting out and don't know where to get started, call someone that's in paparazzi. But if you have a little team going and you haven't made contact with them, oh, my gosh. It's all you have to do is call them and let you know you love them and care about them. And that is something that has really opened my eyes that I've tried to start doing in the last little bit. And Missy pushes that a lot, is make a phone call. We're all texters or messengers. We all message a lot. But if that personal contact means the world, and it changes your life, it does. Whenever I'm down and discouraged, all I have to do is talk to a couple people, and they just live my life. And so pick up the telephone. That's the best.
I love it. That's great. Okay, so what is a quote that inspires you?
My favorite quote is love your life. Because I didn't love my life for a long time. And sometimes you don't love who you are or how you look or how you feel or how much money you have or what your weight is. But if every step you take every day you think, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life, it'll change your life. It has changed mine. Ani can tell you, 6 months ago I wasn't where I am today. A year ago I wasn't where I am today. But I'm so blessed. And I love the life that God has given to me.
I love that. That's beautiful. And you embrace life. That's one of my favorite things about you is no matter what stage you're in, even when you had your cancer and you were at convention and you had lost all of your hair, you were wearing a darling pink wig. You gave them out to everybody that was there that year. And you get up on stage and you threw your wig out into the audience. You had the biggest smile on your face. And you just embrace that, loving your life, whatever stage you're in.
Thank you.
It's truly who you are. I love that. Okay, a couple more questions here. What is a book that you would say is a must-read and why?
My very, very favorite book is The Secret. And I have it on my iPod. I refer to it in book form. I don't care where I'm at with it. I push it on. If I'm down and discouraged, I push on The Secret. And it's all about if you believe it, it'll happen. I believe in vision boards, and I believe in affirmations, and that's what The Secret is about. If you believe it and you declare it, it will happen. I don't care what it is. You want $1 million? It will happen. If you believe it, you put on a vision board, and you say it, it will happen. You want to be Maven A-lister and carry around a Chanel purse? It will happen if you declare it.
I love it. I have to tell you a story around that because after Empower Me Pink this last year, when we came to your house for training afterwards, Robin and Tom were talking about vision boards, and they were talking about just this very thing. And so on the way home, I was thinking, because it's about a 4-hour drive from me, so on the way home, I was thinking, okay, what would I put in my vision board? What are some things that I want changed in my life? And at the time, I'm going to start crying now, Robin. We've been living in an apartment. The financial market that Robin was talking about, it hit us hard too. And we didn't have investment properties. We just had our house. And we ended up having to short sell that. And we were told, you guys cannot buy a house for 7 years. And so we were in the middle of that 7 years just waiting our time. And we were living, for those of you that don't know me, haven't listened for very long, we have 7 kids. And then my husband and I, and we were squished in a tiny 3-bedroom apartment. We didn't have a yard. We didn't have even a garage. We had a parking space that sometimes the neighbors would steal. And so on the way home, one of the first things I put on my list was a house. I wanted a house so bad. And from what we've been told several times, we had to wait that 7 years. We had to wait. And so I put it on my vision board thinking, well, eventually someday we'll get into a house. Well, this is June, so we're talking, 3 months later? And I'm talking to you today from my house. We were able to get into a house that, it's a little bit bigger, but we have a backyard. We have a garage. We have 4 bedrooms. And so with, 9 people, it's a little bit squished, but it's ours, and it's a house, and it was on my vision board. So even this thing that I never thought would be able to happen because of, the past and everything, it totally happened. And in 3 months, Robin.
See? So, I'm telling you, Anya is so amazing. I've known Anya for 3-4 years, something. When did you start, honey?
I started, I think I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary. Let me think. Yep, 3 years. Yeah, I started when I was pregnant with my almost 3-year-old. So, yep, 3 years.
And you are so amazing. And I tell you, if there's anything I could teach, anything, is that if you put it out there, God, all you have to do is ask and put it out there and believe, and it comes 3 months for you. A house. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you for sharing it with me in the first place. I never would have known, and then, we might not have been here. So I love that. Oh. Okay, last question, Robin. What is a parting piece of guidance that you would give to our listeners today?
Just to love yourself and love your sisters and to believe that you're beautiful. You make a difference in people's lives. God has, I so believe that God gives us things. I don't think there's chance. I don't think things happen because you're lucky. I think God puts you in situations to learn and to grow and to help other people. And it just makes me sad that so many people don't believe they're beautiful. And everyone has such great beauty in them. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you need, what you want. If you believe in yourself, you can get it. It's this kind of the perfect. And this is a little saying that I have that says, believe in yourself. There's power in you. Believe in yourself, and your dreams will come true. So believe in yourself because you are beautiful.
That is the perfect way to end this call, Robin. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today and sharing your wisdom with all of Paparazzi. I know that this is going to be one of probably the most listened to episodes on the podcast just because you are so amazing, and that just comes right through in all the stories that you shared, and it's just with everything. So now, anybody that's listening, if you want to connect further with Robin, she has a group on Facebook that's open to all paparazzi consultants. It's the Frank Divas group. Is that right, Robin?
That's correct. It's a closed group, so you have to ask to be texted, but if we if we don't get you, sometimes then just message us and say, hey, I'm a paparazzi consultant. Be in.
There you go.
We're there for anyone that has any kind of question or anything. It's just anyone, whether you're in my team or not. And if I could make a little plug, come to convention. Yeah. We have fun gifts we're giving out, and I can't wait to meet everybody and hug them. And most of all, Anya, thank you. Thank you. I feel so honored to be able to be on this call. And God, look at us. Thank you for being in my life. And thank you for all the sweet sisters that have changed my life. Oh, I appreciate the opportunity to share here, and I feel honored that you asked me. So, have a fantastic day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.